Hey, scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, back with days number 7 and 8 in my December daily Minisode pocket page notebook of my Elven adventures. So today I am working on 2 pages of the elves. One is of Hermie pretending to be the ghost of Christmas past, and Sid pretending to be Scrooge when they brought us tickets to go see the Christmas Carol play at University of Tennessee. And the other one is of Hermie and Sid in the bathroom. Sid wrote let it go on the toilet, and also drew jokes on our toilet paper. And I am actually going to put toilet paper in my traveler's notebook. I'm not even kidding. So first I'm going to work on this side though, and I only have this one photo, and so I decided to include the photo on one side and then the journaling card of the note that Sid and Hermie left about A Christmas Carol on the other side. And so I'm just kind of making a little layout on that side with the journaling card. So first I'm going to adhere down the photo and journaling card I chose on this side, and then fight with this number 7 for a while, and decide I'm not going to put it down quite yet, making sure that this fits. And I'm just going to put the journaling card right in the middle. And start building my clusters around it. So this is the basis for my spread. And I honestly struggled with this spread a little bit. I'm not sure why. It just kind of did. I think maybe because it's been a few days since I worked in this notebook, I just kind of struggled with the size and getting back into it. But I do end up with something that I like, so that's good. But it's definitely not going to be my favorite spread in the album. So I'm just kind of building up my clusters, making sure that I have the number incorporated in the spread. And I think part of the reason that I struggled a little bit was because I chose to use that journaling card in the background there, and it didn't quite match the colors and the rest of the layout. So by the time I realized that that was what was throwing me off, it was too late to pull it up, so I just kind of had to work with it. But I think I'm going to pull all of those journaling cards out of the rotation because they're just not matching the rest of my supplies, and I keep trying to incorporate them and it's not working out so well. So it's probably better to just limit my supplies back down a little bit to make it easier on myself. So I'm just trying to work in some stickers here, make this work. I don't love that love title. It ends up coming off. To find something better to work with. There it goes. And so I just, the struggle even watching this video, it's real. I do end up with something good, but you can feel my indecision and my struggle with this layout as I'm working on it. I think maybe because it's so simple, too. I'm not sure. I decided to use that ampersand, A because it matches and B because it works. There's 2 of them. This is where it starts coming together. So I decided to use these gold wreaths. I'm going to use one, but I'm going to cut it so that it's just going around from corner to corner. And when I cut it, I decide to use the other side on the other side of the spread so that I have that repetition there and it works out well. And I think that really brings the whole thing together and makes it look good and matching, and not just like two separate pages that I'm just smashing together. So I do decide to use liquid glue because they're not very sticky. And then when I do, I'm like, how did this go on here? Struggle? Why is there a struggle? All right, that works. And I'm going to stick this favorite right in the middle because I loved that Christmas Carol. And I'm switching over to the other side now. Now, I am going to incorporate this joke toilet paper in the spread. And I do admit that it was hard to work with and it was a crazy idea, but I couldn't not include the toilet paper. Don't worry, it was clean. First of the roll. I pulled it off right after I took the picture. But it was 2-ply, so it started coming off and I had to re-glue it down a few times, and it was just a struggle. The things we do for scrapbooking. So I'm going to use it as a background for the whole spread. And I decided that the back of that gray paper, which is the words right there, it was a bit busy next to that red writing on the toilet paper. So I am going to back this photo in something else to kind of cover up some of that writing. But I don't want to cover up too much because I did match that photo backing to that black and white paper, so I didn't want to cover it up too much. I do want to have that black and white there too. I decided that that photo of Hermie was too big. There's too much going on and I could trim it down a bit. So I do trim it. And then I decided to back it in the gray instead of, on the blue. Nope, gray. Blue? Something like that. I decided to back it on that instead of the black. And I think it worked a little bit better. Gray. So I'm going to use this polka dot paper to mat this photo to cover up some of that black and white paper. And I'm going to mat it long, so it's going to extend out from the bottom of the photo a bit. And I think that helps to really mitigate the black and white in the background. Then I decided to include this fa la 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 la, which I cut off a journaling card on a previous layout, just to cover up the bottom of this toilet a little bit. I don't know. Having a picture of the toilet is just weird and kind of gross, even if it is clean. So I don't know. I wanted to cover it up a little bit. And I used that twinkle because I'm a dork and it reminded me of tinkle. So, yeah. I don't know. I guess I was losing my mind a little bit. I was being a little silly. And then that says holiday fun, which I thought was appropriate. And then I adhere these stars And I'm going to have to pull them up in a minute because I realized when I was done with the spread that I hadn't put the number on. So I'm going to put a title on here that says Silly Elves, or actually that was my initial thought, was Silly Elves, but I end up putting silly, and I cut that I so it was a little shorter, and then used the top of it to extend out the bottom of this to make it an L instead of an I, because I was out of L's. But I didn't have the right letters for Silly Elves, so I end up using a sentence strip, and I'm going to cut it in pieces. And there we go. And it says favorite silly Christmas memories. You can see me sticking down the toilet paper again, and I end up sticking it down a lot more off camera too. And then I realize, oh no, I haven't put the number on yet. So now I'm going to do that, and then I will call this layout all done. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll be bringing December daily inspiration all month long. Thank you.